Last Pine Productions presents the New Way podcast. The New Way contains adult content. Listener discretion is advised. And now, a word from Stan Lee.
Hi, heroes. This is Stan Lee coming at you. Want you to know, Marvel has always been and always will be a reflection of the world right outside our window. That world may change and evolve, but the one thing that will never change is the way we tell our stories of heroism. Those stories have room for everyone, regardless of their race, gender, religion, or color of their skin. The only things we don't have room for are hatred, intolerance, and bigotry. That man next to you, he's your brother. That woman over there, she's your sister. And that kid walking by, hey, who knows? He may have the proportionate strength of a spider. We're all part of one big family, the human family, and we all come together in the body of Marvel. And you're part of that family. You're part of the Marvel universe that moves ever upward and onward to greater glory. In other words, Excelsior!
Hey, I think he bought it.
Yeah? What kind of story did you give him?
Oh, it was the Vulture soliloquy, from the Spider-Man anniversary issue. Love be a vulture tonight. Yeah,
well, I can't thank you enough,
Oh, forget it. But I think you ought to get him some help. He seems to be really hung up on superhero sex organs. But you'll outgrow it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Excelsior.
Oh, you got that right.
Everybody wants to be naked and famous. Everybody wants to be just like me. I'm naked.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Hello, world, and welcome to the New Way podcast, coming to you from Last Pine Production Studios in Boynton Beach, Florida. I'm Matt Shank, joined in studio as always by Ben Wilson and Nick Santa Croce. This is the New Way where we just talk about whatever we want to talk about. Usually it's movies, right?
You always also say, as always, joined by, although sometimes...
Even though almost never it's all three of us, but look, first-time listeners should just be accustomed. It's always whatever they first heard. That's the show that they
As always, it's a bunch of assholes in a room talking about fun pop culture stuff.
I know I'm always here, so that's how.
Until you're not.
You guys sure are bubbly for the first podcast post Stan Lee world.
Yes, well, we were going to get into it.
I'm bummed.
I'm just introducing the audience a little bit to the show, but yes,
it's misleading. The world is a dark, cold place now.
Well, the world has lost
because a 95-year-old guy died. Sorry,
the world has lost a great person. Stan Lee did pass away yesterday at age 95. He was the last man standing from Marvel. Ditko passed away a few months ago, and Jack Kirby gone in 94.
Right, I was about to say him in the 90s.
And I want us all kind of discuss our how Stan Lee was a part of our lives. But I was really interested. I found a really good article. This guy said,
he was just an old guy to Ben, so we can just skip him.
Hey! First off, don't fucking patronize me here.
It's on tape.
You do realize the reason why I said that is because we should be celebrating Stan Lee's life. He was 95 years young when he passed away. This isn't a dark day. This is a wonderful celebration of Stan Lee's life and his legacy and all of the things that he gave to us as fucking nerds. We would not be here without Stan Lee.
This is
so
true.
I say, you know what? Stan Lee, Excelsior, fuck yeah. He was 95 years old. If only we would be so lucky to get to that and have that type of influence.
Where the hell has this been hiding for 73 episodes of almost subdued as if he was coming out of a coma pre-code movie talk? This is amazing.
His energy lied
I just hate it
dormant, waiting,
because
watching.
I don't like the way that a lot of people view death, especially in a celebrity sense. I feel like there are people who are legitimately taken from us too young.
Yeah.
And Stan Lee had a lifetime, a more than full lifetime, to contribute to many popular mediums that we hold very near and dear to our hearts.
I agree with you.
So that's where I stand, because that's the type of life you should celebrate, and where I feel like death is just the next beginning to them. I mean, at that point, to their legacy and to them. And no matter what you think about death, I feel like if you die at 95 and you've had that type of contribution, you've done a pretty good fucking job.
Yeah, he obviously.
And luckily, we still have people like Jeff Sessions and Paul Ryan are going strong, so we have that.
Okay, let's not bring them up on this day when we're going to talk about
I don't
Stan.
disagree. I think that a disproportionate energy level, perhaps, in the presentation. I'm with you though.
Oh, I'm loving it. I want more of this. I like this fired up. When Ben starts pitching his movies in bed, I want to see that.
I was just saying. No, I just think it's not. I don't consider it a sad day when somebody who contributed so much left us at that type of age.
Agreed. And
I want to go at age 75, not a year after that.
No,
I don't think age has anything to do with it. Really,
I'm fine going before 95.
Yeah.
Those last 4 or 5 are not great.
I'm lucky if I make it to 60, dude.
Yeah, that's all good.
He was in poor health, and there was controversy with his caretakers. And people were trying to.
I'm much happier for him now.
The last year has led, especially with all of those types of stories. I feel like Stanley's probably in a better place right now.
But still got to shoot all these cameos for future films.
Oh, hell yeah.
He got to see Infinity War.
He's going to finish out the phase, the first major Marvel Cinematic Universe
and look,
series.
They didn't call him Stan the Brand for no reason. He relished that attention. He got a second wind of celebrity with the MCU and showing up in cameos and films. And
I listened to his 1991 interview with Terry Gross today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Any good tidbits?
Well, no. I mean, obviously, he was mostly just talking about his in the formulative years of Marvel. And the reason, and like just some funny anecdotes about like apparently the first Fantastic Four issue, they didn't have the actual costumes, and so that was the big thing, is they were just like, we don't want to be like all of the old hat, cartoony, where we're not being relevant for today's and the way that people talk to one another. We want it to actually be relevant to a modern audience, and so they did the first book, and they sent that out, and apparently they got crazy good reception, but all of these fanboys wrote in, they were just like, they have to have costumes. And so it was like,
you need to put a pair of underwear on the thing, or I'm not going to read anymore.
I want to see his orange doink.
But
his orange doink.
He literally said in that interview that they
sounds like a vape flavor.
They did not plan on making
orange doink.
Like, they would never have made the Hulk green if it was just one of those things where it's like, well, they expect bright colors, so we have to make Hulk green. He can't just be a big guy that's like normal human color.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was gamma rays, Ben. Think.
This
it's not going to be normal skin color.
I'm telling you exactly what
I'm just
Stanley
joking.
said.
Well, I'm just joking.
And the thing I was interested, because I mean, everyone kind of knows his legacy, and I definitely wanted us to kind of talk about where that kind of intersected in our lives. But I was reading this article. So he graduated from high school in 1939 from this place called DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx. And this school, it's a public high school in the Bronx.
It has crazy amount of people.
It has the most famous alumni.
It's insane. No, there's a book about it.
With
there's literally a
Patty
book about it.
Chayefsky was in his class. Screenwriter Lawrence Teich, who became president of CBS, one of the guys that wound up being the studio head of Columbia Pictures. Don Adams from Get Smart, Larry Storch from F Troop, all these things. But you know who graduated just before him? Were Bill Finger and Bob Kane, who created Batman.
Batman.
So literally, that school spawned the greatest superheroes that we will ever know.
I'm pretty sure there's a book about it, actually, because I remember reading about it.
I mean, for me, in the clip you guys heard in the intro, my introduction to Stan Lee 100% was Mallrats.
Mallrats, right?
I didn't read comics as a kid. There weren't a lot of Marvel properties that featured Marvel characters as far as movies were going. It was all Batman. It was Batman and Superman. And you get the Hulk. I mean, was the closest I had. I knew of Spider-Man, but I never watched anything on it. And I knew X-Men a little bit from the cartoon. So when that movie came out, I was like, I didn't know who this guy was, and that's what got me interested in learning. I'm like, oh, who is this weird guy that like just shows up in the Wolfman Jack role from American Graffiti in Mallrats?
See, one of the things I think is ironic is that I said in a previous podcast, I read mostly DC properties when I was growing up in my really young years.
Your misguided years.
In my misguided years. I was reading the really old stuff, but for some reason, and I'm assuming, it may just because I was subscribed to a couple of magazines that were very kind of nerd-centric. Stan Lee is probably the only comic book artist slash writer slash developer that I ever could have picked out of a lineup.
I don't think
didn't
Joe
know
anything.
I didn't know what Eastman and Laird looked like. I didn't know what anybody looked like.
Yeah.
And but I knew what Stan Lee looked like, and I
Stay
knew
in the brand.
and I knew that Stan Lee was Stan Lee, even though I didn't read any of his comics. This is before I read any of his stuff.
crazy.
So I knew who Stan Lee was, and I think it's mostly because of Cinescape and some of these other, magazines that I read, and probably just from being around people who read comics.
He was a larger than life personality, and the one thing that I think would be remiss is when you watch a lot of his interviews, he has this dreamy, great way of telling stories. He's warm, he's engaging. He talks about how dreaming up Spider-Man. Then I dreamt up the X-Men. He had a lot of help, and there is a lot of in question about how much did he actually create. Ditko doesn't get nearly enough credit. He is the Bill Finger in this equation. Doesn't get nearly enough credit. I mean, Kirby would draw panels and action before he had a story or dialogue. They would do comics the way Genesis made songs. They do the music first, and then Phil would come in and come up with the lyrics. Same thing with Stan. Not to say he wasn't an immense talent, and more importantly, a super progressive voice. And is a void of racism and during civil rights with X-Men. He was an important guy, and he was just you couldn't think of a better spokesman, an ambassador for comics. He relished the camera. He relished meeting people at the cons. He relished taking photos. He loved his role in the world of entertainment, and he. Just think about being Stan Lee and going to a Comic-Con and the love that is showered all day.
It's insane.
There's
And
people, you're
Right.
everyone's hero. You brought them something that made them so happy that your days are filled with people just giving you hugs and high fives. It's amazing.
Well, and it wasn't like this happened, overnight for him. He was like in his 50s when he started to gain any kind of popularity, and he was in his 80s or 90s, almost 90s when he got like regular popularity as far as being the cameos in the Marvel movies, which would got to be for the public at large, where they were introduced. to him.
I think you're talking about public at large because I mean, guys like Stan Lee were going to cons back in the 60s and 70s, but that's when it was literally 1,000 nerds in a room.
Yeah, but he didn't become the rock star that's like gets his own autograph.
He was a rock star among that people, and the thing was is not only did that group of people
He's an
grow,
Andy Warhol sort of.
Not only did that group of people continue to grow as it became bigger, but those people permeated popular culture.
Sure.
And so then all of a sudden he becomes this rock star on this much bigger level, and you're absolutely right about that.
He's
But
so
he was
lovable.
always a rock star to comic fans.
Sure.
And the filmmakers and the TV producers. You know why there's so many cameos?
Again, second
That's twice,
episode in a row.
3 times in a row. Mary.
Luke Stevens sending me Nick level repeated text messages.
All right, listen. Okay, we're gonna get back to Stan in a second. I send staggered text. It's like poetry, Matt. The indentations mean something. It's the flow. Anyway. The thing about Stan Lee is people loved having him in their movies because they knew he would deliver. He's funny. He's the grandfather everyone wanted to have, and he relished it more than probably anybody on set. I have one little quick Stan Lee story. I went to Comic-Con once, and I woke up at 5 a.m.
What was that? Did you just make what hand motion was that?
I'm Italian. I'm talking my hands.
You were like, I went to Comic-Con and you did a jerking off motion. And it was like a joking thing.
I couldn't.
Hanacon.
What would I say?
I think he said Hanacon.
First of
like
all,
this
if
menorah.
that doesn't exist, it really needs to exist. But no, I'm sorry.
You've never been to a con.
I'm at
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Speaking of Big Ben Grimm, who was Jewish, no, I was not. Listen,
Continue.
I couldn't afford a ticket to
Barrel
Comic
through,
Con. I had
barrel
to
through.
go to the gas lamp and do
Barrel
some
right through.
odd jobs. I woke up at 5 a.m. And I hustled over to the convention center so that I could stand in a 2-hour line to get a raffle ticket. This is to meet Stan Lee. Once I got the raffle ticket, they drew. It was like Thanos. Half the raffles got picked, and I got picked. And I thought, I get to wait in another 2-hour line to meet Stan. No, that qualified me an hour later to stand in another 2-hour line for a second raffle ticket. And which, if you won that raffle, then you could stand in another 2-hour line to meet Stan. I didn't make the cutoff at the second raffle, and I regret nothing. I always wanted to meet him, and this is the only place where I can say this. I'm salty as fuck. All my entertainment friends posting their pictures of Stan Lee because they were on a show where he happened to cameo, he was in the building, and someone said, "Oh, that's a guy." And he goes, "That's a guy? Yeah, he created Spider-Man. I've heard of Spider-Man." Click. And now they get to post a picture of Stan Lee. I wanted to meet him so bad. I just wanted to shake his hand and say, "Thank you." I drew Spider-Man every notebook. It was my collecting those comic cards and growing up, and now as a 35-year-old man, as like my only fun escape is going to these Marvel movies and getting back into comics. He changed the landscape. He created the Silver Age of comics. Comics historians will equate his storylines to changing the entire genre.
Sure.
And he really did make an incredible impact, not only on that industry that was struggling at the time, but now just entertainment in general.
And actually, and you couldn't have said it better than that. And one of the things he brought up in the interview was that he said that just the approach was one of the biggest thing that was different. Is that whereas in the more serialized, older comics, where somebody saw, and he was very colorful, like a giant monster with 4 arms, and he was green, has 2 arms, he's breathing fire, he's walking down the street. Your previous Supermans or your Batmans would have just said, "I must capture him so I can destroy him before he wrecks the city," or whatever. Whereas the first thing that came to their minds was just like, "Whoa, did Halloween come early this year? Who is this guy?" Whatever.
Yeah.
And thinking about
Here's
more
a web in your eye.
Yeah, and thinking about the more idiosyncratic, but also just thinking about, well, how the hell would you act in those sort of types of situations? Just being like, especially if you have a superpower, instead of it being kind of this all high and mighty sort of thing, thinking about the human side of the characters and have them not be defined by their superhero qualities, but defined by who they were as people, and then dealing with the fact that they had superhero qualities. And he said that was his thing about that's the angle they went at with Marvel and what they were trying to do in their early years, and what differentiated them from the older comics. And I think that speaks volumes today, because I think nowadays you look at characterization a lot better. A superhero is not defined by what their actual superhero trait or skill is. They're defined by Peter Parker is not defined by the fact that he can climb on walls and is a super smart guy who can create a webbing, that can swing from buildings. He's defined by being Peter Parker, and being that character is a very specific kind of idiosyncratic,
routine
type.
And Superman, his weakness is kryptonite. So that's when trouble started for him, is when that green gem is nearby, right? But for Spider-Man, it's like his big problem was when he promised Aunt May he'd have dinner at 5 p.m., and that's when Dr. Octopus is staging the bank heist.
Right, exactly.
It was emotional vulnerability, not your superhero vulnerability.
Exactly.
True. Right.
So, anyways, that was...
Rest in peace, Stan Lee. We will continue to talk about you and your comics and your movies on the podcast for as many episodes as we have left. Who knows? You'll outlast all of us in your legacy, I'm sure. I have just a couple more things to get to before we get into our topic tonight.
Our pre-topic topic.
One's going to catch Ben Wilson way off guard here, but I had to. So the other evening, Nick and I went on a random deep dive that I don't even know how to explain it, but we were watching Saturday Night Live, and there was a commercial on for Bud's Chicken and Seafood, which is a South Florida staple. I don't know if you've ever been to Bud's. Or not. So Bud's it's been around
Boynton
for
establishment.
I mean, no, there's Boynton, there's North Palm, there's wherever. There was one right near my high school, so it was like one of our school lunch things you could buy. Like they get Bud's. It's chicken fingers and fried seafood and
a Guthrie's or
Zaxby's, yeah, kind of like that deal.
Way better.
But they have
better.
the crinkle cut fries and
Yes.
the tenders, but they also have fish. They have fish. They have hush puppies.
I got you.
Is it hush puppies or corn fritters? We get to the
They
bottom
did
of that?
say corn fritters on this. I looked on their menu on their website.
Okay.
So anyway, this is this establishment, right? And they have a commercial that is, I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like it. It does not sound like an ad. It sounds like some guy got drunk and just started making up a song about Buds, and then they just posted it. So I want to play this for you out there right now, because this is something
I think
special.
literally that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's not for.
I mean, I don't
comedy.
think I'm over exaggerating it when you hear this, but
Moist on the inside, crispy and golden on the outside. Buds, chicken fingers.
Bud's Chicken and Seafood.
That's and then it
Taste
goes into
buds.
their
Taste
old
the difference.
their old thing.
Unedited.
Okay.
And now
Just a drunkard on an Echo, a personal karaoke machine.
Well, I said, good day to you, sir. I would like to put my hat in the ring and make my own Bud's Chicken and Seafood commercial. So for the first time we're airing, this is gonna be our first non-sponsor sponsor. This episode will be sponsored by Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and this is my attempt at a Bud's
Did you get
commercial.
drunk, Matt?
I did not. Bud's has all the seafood, shrimp and oysters. Let's go fishing, but don't forget about the chicken fingers in a honey mustard pool, floating alongside some corn fritters with the little whole corns in the middle that creep me out, and washing down with Pepsi products and some sweet tea.
Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Taste buds.
That's pretty good, buddy.
So, I mean, I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it.
We've already established that you don't like corn and things.
No, I do not like corn and things. Now,
God.
as part of this deep dive, we also found another video, and
You know he's not saying chicken fingers, right? Fanger is a whole
Fanger.
different part of the chicken.
again, fingers.
Do you know what a fanger is?
So the other part, I think I'm going to wait to play for Ben after the pod. If you guys really want to hear, I have there's a guy that apparently did this video of going to a Bud's Chicken Seafood, and he sounds like the Drinking from Cups guy mixed with Sylvester Stallone. But I'll let you listen just a little bit. You tell me if this goes on for too long, but I think this is pure genius.
Hey, yo. Guess what I'm in the mood for lunch today?
What is this? Get real.
Bud's Chicken and Seafood. They have good chicken fingers and fries. I love their honey mustard sauce, and I love their corn fritters. So I'm gonna get an extra side of corn fritters too.
He's got a
Bud's is
GoPro on his
okay.
head.
If I'm in the mood for chicken, man, I come to Bud's. Obviously, a lot of other people come to Bud's too.
Sounds
If I could
Check
change,
this out.
Matt Mammalito.
Bud's Chicken and Seafood.
First thing I
They
thought.
got fried oysters also. Hey, nice looking car.
Hey, yo,
I
Adrian.
love the
He starts talking
CTS.
about cars.
I think
CTS.
it's called the CTS-V. That's a pretty cool looking quick car. I like the styling of it. It's pretty futuristic. I don't care too much for the new Escalades. I don't think they look that nice.
What a
But I
delight.
think that car looks pretty sharp. Hey yo, how you doing? I like to have a chicken finger quickie, please. Can I get the 4-piece? Hey, what kind of soda do you guys got?
We have Pepsi products, sweet tea, unsweet tea, and lemonade.
But what is the other Pepsi products that I'm not aware of? What is it?
We have Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I forgot. Let me.
Life water, we have
Yeah.
Mountain Dew, and orange soda.
Okay, hold it right there. I forgot
Almost
Dr.
done.
Pepper is a Pepsi product. Please give me a regular large Dr. Pepper.
How can he
instead
forget
of
Dr.
Diet
Pepper's
Pepper.
under the Pepsi umbrella?
He has no idea.
You don't have any milkshakes, do you? Oh, all right then. That'll do it.
13.2.
Bud's
Alright,
Milkshakes
thank you.
brings all the
The
Sylvester
full
Stallone.
video is 14 minutes. This is just snippet.
Wow. Okay.
Man, they got to get some milkshakes here.
This is where it turns into
Yeah,
drinking
they
from
got crab
cups.
cakes, fried oysters, fried whatever that word is, oysters. They got to get some milkshakes. Bud's got to get some milkshakes here, goddammit. Oh, look at that disgusting Burger King over there. I can't stand Burger King. That's gross. I love Wendy's. I'll even do McDonald's because I grew up with that, you know. But
Tell
Burger
us
King
more.
I can't stand.
Anyway,
What happened to him at Burger King?
this guy, he has a series of videos. He's apparently like really involved in local politics up in Jupiter. Calls himself the mayor and does Stallone impersonations.
We thought he was actually mayor of
Yeah,
Jupiter for
I
a
was a
minute.
little concerned that he might actually be a mayor of it, but
We live in Florida, dude. There's nothing that's out of the realm of possibility.
I have never not regretted going down a rabbit hole as much as that one.
But then we found the guy, and then all of a sudden it was at public access, like hearing,
Like C-SPAN.
for C-SPAN hearing.
Was he talking about rogue helicopter pilots?
He's in a Rocky T-shirt.
he's wearing a Stallone Rocky
Also,
shirt.
he has like 5 Sylvester Stallone impression vids. But
Sunglasses on his head, speaking in front of the city council about flooding in his neighborhood.
does he have the Rocky hat on? He has the hat.
No,
too,
he had,
right?
he had the sunglasses sitting on his head. But this guy is a gem.
There's no parking in Jupiter. We gotta get more parking spaces. What is this?
I'm going to say it right now because I thought of this earlier today. I'm going to reach out to him on YouTube, and I'm going to see if he will call in and do like a 2-minute interview with us and get on the air.
That would be insane.
Which I'd be like super. I'll give him a Bud's gift certificate. I'm sure that'll work. But I want to get this guy on air.
Maybe a $5 gift certificate to a place that has milkshakes.
Yes. We have to have a milkshake for him. The end of his video, he takes the GoPro off his head, turns it at him in the dash, parks, and just eats the box of chicken in front of him.
Think of fried food of just out of his car, just like in honey mustard sauce, and
you gotta dip the corn fritters in the honey mustard sauce ever.
It is. Wow. It's fucking amazing.
What's his name? Do you have a name?
I'm gonna get the mayor. I want to reach out to him. He's the mayor right now. That's all I know.
The mayor of Jupiter.
The mayor of Jupiter, and big fan of Buds. But Buds, if you're listening, I'm going to send this commercial to you as well, or tag you on it on YouTube. If you want to use it, you are more than welcome. And if you ever want to sponsor a podcast, we would love to have you as a sponsor of The New Way. Now, we are almost up to our main event, but we have one small bit of business to do first that I'm super excited about.
Yes.
So we are in our sequel mode. If you haven't noticed, we did our second Cold Readings episode. Tonight, we're going to be doing our second movie pitch episode. And coming up soon, we are going to be doing our second musical movie pitch, which is one of my all-time personal favorite episodes of the podcast. And tonight, we are going to find out, unlike last time where we chose our own, this time we have been tasked with choosing musicals for our brethren here in the room. So I would like to hear Ben first.
Okay.
What are your choices?
Well, so first off, what we decided to do is we're not just doing like the cold readings where we're assigning one person a
gem like the Wraith.
A gem like the Wraith, exactly. No, so we are going to. I believe,
thought about giving you the Wraith.
I believe that this is a thing where we're going to assign each of our of Nick here, Matt, and I will we'll end up getting two. One from all the other members.
We'll make this easy. So let's give Nick his choices. You give Nick one choice. I'm going to give Nick his second choice. He has to choose between our two. Let's do that.
That's fine.
All right, go.
Although mine make a lot more sense if I do yours together. Actually,
well, I just want one of us to go at a time to choose our musical, so we're not bouncing it back and forth.
But mine was like a
he had a whole thing planned. Let him do his thing.
All right. So
because I think we can choose of ours at the end, and so we can go through it and we can talk about.
This long staggered setup means he has something in mind. So
go.
So
the reason why I have something in mind is because there's a certain pop culture duo that is responsible for a lot of things in our including musical in our lives. And I had the concept of moving a little bit further backwards and assigning one property to both of you from that duo.
Biodome?
And so, no.
Destiny?
Hold on one moment here.
I'm assuming it's Jay and Silent Bob.
No, it is not.
It's the D.
The two that I'm referring to are Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Ooh.
And here is what I would like to go on. Matt, you would be responsible. This is my choice for you. If you choose your mission, if you choose to accept it, would be to do a musical version of Basketball.
That's a nice movie.
Yeah. Wait.
In my movie, Orgasmo.
There's a reason here. Well, so Orgasmo. Now, here's the thing.
Kind of a musical already.
Yeah.
What? Well, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here is the reason why. That I am switching movies, and I know your proclivities. Okay. His towards Basketball and yours for Orgasmo. Sure. And for Nick, it would be yours is for Orgasmo. But there's a very specific reason why.
Okay.
Matt's previous musical pitch was full of whimsy and fun and wonder, which would align much better with Basketball than it would with Orgasmo. Okay. Whereas Nick, I think, has the tendency to go very extreme and very dark and potentially just epic. And I think that epicness would be amazing for a movie like Orgasmo.
Plus, he was paying porn for us just like 10 minutes ago.
That's true.
Evening,
right before we walked in.
So,
anyways, from the makers of great musicals like Team America, World Police, and Book of Mormon, and all other musical related properties they did, Orgasmo, Basketball. Those are my thoughts.
I was hoping after that long setup you were going to go, and for Nick, Cannibal, the musical. Trey Parker's first film.
Cannibal, the musical, the musical.
Yeah, right. I'm staying away from the musicals.
Ben, I will take your suggestion under consideration.
Okay.
Nicholas, what else do you got?
Oh, so now I'm giving you both.
Yes.
Okay, see, I had a whole list of.
Giving us both the business.
It's going to be kind of a game time decision because I had a list of 5 and I'm happy with all of them.
You got to
cut down. You can only give each of us one.
But using the same kind of logic here, what suits your proclivities, so to speak, I think that what I want to give Matt is going to be the Michael J. Fox classic.
The Secret of My Success?
No, Teen Wolf.
Oh.
A lot of musical possibilities there.
A song called Boof. I like it.
And
I like it.
I was gonna go American Werewolf, and I'm like, oh wait, Teen Wolf.
The Boof. The Boof. The Boof is on fire.
And then for Benny,
yeah,
I'm going to give you.
Give it to me.
Alfred Hitchcock's classic Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. I think there's a lot of possibility there too.
These are some interesting choices.
Like that?
Oh,
I like it.
I see Ben's eyes moving.
Okay. All right, Matt.
My choices were also tailor-made for each of you two gentlemen based on your loves of life. For Ben, I chose The Shadow. Because who better knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Sold.
The Shadow knows. And only Ben can make a radio play of a radio play musical.
I did go Google pre-code film
It
before settling
wasn't
on
a
Psycho.
musical. Hey, listen, I will make a musical of the 1991 Alec Baldwin film, The Shadow.
No. That was the assignment. This is not any Shadow. You are doing the Alec Baldwin Shadow.
I thought that was just assumed.
Yes. And Nicholas.
I just did the Shadow laugh just like by nature.
Oh, Lordy.
But actually, I haven't made my decision yet, so
Right.
I want to
And
hear
Nicholas.
I mean, do we have to come up with our decision by the end of the podcast? Or
Yeah,
can we
no, I think we should
now.
come up with it right now. We're going to do it right now.
But what if inspiration strikes us later on?
If you have to change, then you change.
All right.
If you have to be
But
difficult.
for the pageantry
if you
of the
have to be
podcast, people
difficult,
announce it
I would
now.
like people to look forward to these musicals for weeks to come.
They're all good choices. I'm sure they'll be excited no matter what.
This one's a bit not a cheat necessarily, but they have actually attempted in making this into a musical. But I think they're going to fail, and I think one person can do it better. And it's not Nightmare Before Christmas because that's already a musical, but it is a Tim Burton affair known as Betelgeuse. I would like Nicholas to make a good Beetlejuice musical.
I heard that was really awful.
I've heard it's not
really
a
bad.
good musical whatsoever. So you are tasked with pitching a better Betelgeuse.
So with Nick, it's between Beetlejuice and Orgasmo. With Matt, it is between
Teen Wolf,
Teen Wolf,
Basketball,
and Basketball. And with me, it's between Psycho and
Two
The
sports
Shadow.
films.
Yeah.
So guess what? Yeah, I guess what I think I didn't get the short end of the stick this time.
Yeah, Ben is legitimately erect right
I'm
now.
really
I've
excited.
never seen him so
I'm excited about either of those possibilities.
I give those possibilities 3 dicks up.
3 dicks up.
Hey.
Listen, look who listened to the podcast
There
where I
you
wasn't
go.
featured.
There you go.
Wow.
Well done.
I listened to an hour and a half of sound design discussion so I can make that reference and prove to you that I listen to your podcast too.
That's right. That's the sound design we do. So, who would like to choose their film first? Would you, Benny? Are you ready to make a decision?
I'm only ready to make this decision based off of what I think I can do with it musically.
Okay.
I'm going to go with The Shadow.
Oh, and Nicholas.
But I'm going Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
All right.
spurred my decision.
Oh shit!
That was tough. I might. And I reserve.
It's a lot closer than you might think.
I
though.
reserve the right to change my mind.
Yes,
if
you need to.
Inspirado strikes me.
If you
later
have
on.
an issue, yes, you can change your mind. For me, I had a pretty good take right away on Basketball. I think I'm gonna make the attempt with Basketball.
0 for 2.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry, Nick.
0 for 2.
I mean, I do like the Boof is on fire, and I may even incorporate. Maybe I'll make.
I think
Boof
you should do that as
show
the
up
B,
in Basketball.
side. Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, just introduce a new character. You can do that in a music.
If Basketball becomes a musical, on our podcast stage, I can't complain.
This is true.
Probably pound for pound, I've probably seen that movie more than any other movie ever made. If you count College Dorm Room, I've literally seen that movie probably 37 times.
And there's a good chance I will pull a Nick on this, and I will wind up doing Teen Wolf because there's some opportunities on both ends.
I think there is.
I have a structural idea on basketball that I like. So you heard it here first, folks. We will be doing this in a few weeks.
Rent Alec Baldwin's The Shadow so you understand the podcast.
Please don't. You will understand the entire story based off of my master.
Ben's
work.
gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and whisper sing before the girls get up in the Florida room.
Alec Baldwin almost wears what you might call a costume in that movie, but not really. It's sort of just a hat and a pseudo coat.
That cloak.
It's like someone traveling on an airplane during flu
It's
season.
like a half cape. It's amazing. So we will have that episode coming to you soon. But first, tonight, we must once again flex our muscles against one another as we compete to pitch a movie based on the weird little game that I put together that actually I think is better than the game I bought that I thought was going to replace this.
You narcissist.
Yes, I am.
Roll the
Thank you.
theme song.
I don't. Oh, mine.
Well, you didn't.
Moses on the seafood, shrimp and oysters. Let's go fishing. But damn. Sorry, I don't know which song we were talking about.
Let's go fishing. Is that what you said? Let's go fishing.
Anytime. Roll song.
You
want to
hear,
go straight
you
to
wanna
that
hear it
every
again?
single time.
Moses on the seafood, shrimp and oysters. Let's go fishing, but don't forget about the chicken fingers in a honey mustard pool floating alongside some corn fritters with the little whole corns in the middle that creep me out. And washing down with Pepsi products and some sweet tea. Buds! Ow! Ow! That's that original guy's ow.
No, I
couldn't
know.
do my own.
The accuracy is
So good.
alarming.
So, to remind everyone at home how this game is played, I have made 30 actor cards, 30 actress cards, and 20 title cards. And we are each going to, for the first round, we're going to pick 4 actor cards, 4 actors, and one title. We're going to pitch an all-male cast movie.
Are they all actors? Really?
Yes,
They are.
They are.
So-
Round 2, we're going to pick 4 actress cards, and we're going to do a female-led film with our title.
Interesting.
And round 3, we're going to
I'm
pick
like a Ghostbusters.
Round 3, we're going to pick 2 actors, 2 actresses, and pitch it.
Okay.
Now, the way it's going to work is we pick our cards.
I've already shuffled.
Perfect. So we're going to pick our cards, and you didn't shuffle the actors into the actresses, did you?
No, I shuffled them all different.
So we will pick our cards. The person who gets it is going to have 60 seconds to look at their title and the actors or actresses that they've chosen and start to come up with a plot. We will vamp as that person goes through it. The first thing when you pitch your film you should do is say what genre it is, because I'm going to give you, I have a whole new set of theme music to choose from. So come up with your genre, give that, we'll put the theme music on in the background, and you're going to pitch your movie.
Does it matter? So, do you want to do all boys first, or you want to do all girls first?
Doesn't matter to me.
And, or you could alternate. You could do one the first time, one
You
the
want
other
to do
time.
actresses first?
Yeah.
You want to do our female-led movies first? Let's do that.
Okay. Well, who would like to go first? Because I can just draw off the top. I've already shuffled. Haven't looked at any
I
of
think
them.
you go for it. Yeah, I think you lead off.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I went first last time.
So you've got 4 actresses and 1 title.
Okay, I'm drawing my 4 actresses. I've got 4 actresses.
Ben is drawing cards.
And I'm taking a title off the top.
I'm take a title right off the top. Now, Nick.
Holy shit.
Do you think this is going to be an eclectic mix of actresses that have been put here?
Well, I just hope that it's no actors that were in Psycho, because he doesn't like to pick those. We know that much.
Oh man, you're gonna nurse that one
Think
for
about
a long
it. Think about
time.
it. A duet with Norman Bates and the ghost of his dead mother. And come on,
There's
let's
some
go.
really good Psycho ones. I probably would have.
No one's seen The Shadow. The Shadow knows the plot to The Shadow, and that's it. No one else knows.
All right, I got it.
You've got a plot?
Yep.
What is your genre?
My genre is fantasy.
Fantasy. I'm gonna pull up.
I wanna
K.
no what you fantasy. I'm not. I didn't say that just because it's. Oh, this is good. I like this. Okay. Okay, it's Scotland in the 1930s. It's the World War II has just broken out. The country's in a panic. A young child has just seen his father go off to war to escape from the harrowing, life at home, and his mother who is depressed every day and is trying to keep things together. He runs off into the woods, and then one day magically sees a giant wave come up from the lake, and as he tries to run away, it just disappears, and he thinks he may have dreamed it or whatever. And the next day, when he's at home, the earth shakes, and he wakes up and he says, I don't know what's going on here. And then the next day he sees his house aflame and in fire, and he runs in to save his mother, but it turns out his house isn't actually on fire. He doesn't understand why he's seeing all of these things, and so he runs out into the woods trying to find an answer to this question, and is greeted. This is sounding way too much like my first pitch from the first movie, actually. But hey, listen, you're gonna understand.
It's the only way to goodie.
Is met by a Children of the Wood, played by Claire Danes, who comes up and speaks to him and just says, the world has just gone to war, and we're trying to warn everybody that this is not ending well, and nobody has listened to us, basically. Al Gore. It now then becomes, of course, that she is actually a mermaid and controls water, and can also walk on land among them, and introduces to these other elementals. Uma Thurman, who controls fire.
Yeah, she does.
Viola Davis, who controls the earth and everything around us, and Glenn Close,
Heart,
who
with the monkey,
controls the wind. I wasn't going to go straight for Heart because you don't understand. He is the heart. He is the heart.
And when their powers combine,
well, basically, kind of close to that is that you have to come, and we have to use all of our elements together, and you have to convince that we can help turn the tide of this coming war. In a movie that's called The Elemental Witches.
Oh, The Elemental Witches. I like this. Now, what I especially like is that
Eastwick meets Captain Planet.
You had 4 successful actresses to choose from, yet you made your protagonist a male who is supported by the females that are going along to support his mission.
It was a boy.
And be supporting.
It was a boy. It was a poor taste. It was a boy. It's like a 9-year-old boy.
Boy.
God damn it. They're the main characters.
He'll be a man after his first leading role.
I think it is. I think, Ben, you have earned the infamous
a green light
from your green light from Beth.
Maybe a hard time, but I
like
that movie.
The Elemental Witch. That's a good title. I like that.
Well, I got those actors and was just like, The Elemental Witches. Okay, well, this is.
By the way, that would have been way better if it was 4 guys. Your movie was The Elemental Witches.
I probably would just played it as a straight comedy if I had come up with that.
All right, Nick, let's put you up second. You're going to take 4 actresses.
You want to do the actresses
and 1 title?
These were, like I said, these were shuffled.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
No, and then your title is on the top. Here you go.
Sir. Now, Ben, I'm fairly confident that Nick's pitch is going to be what the kids will say is woke. Do you think that he will do something that's not woke? I think it's going to be pretty woke.
I'm not really sure about the woke thing.
Do you think there will be a political message behind the pitch?
It all depends on the title, but I guess when it comes down to it, you could really come up with whatever plot you wanted to, then just call it the title because that's what most movies do anyway.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, or movies change titles after they've been
It certainly
in
wasn't that way with The Wraith.
Okay.
I mean, they definitely have Beavis say The Wraith.
All right, I think this is going to be something else.
Do you have a genre for me?
Yeah. Let's go with like is there a dramatic comedy?
Dramatic rom-com.
I have art house romance. How about
yes? Let's go with that.
There you go.
Let's go with that. In a world. No. So we have 4 women who are brought. Is this Leftovers?
It's close, but it's actually at Brooklyn.
Okay. So there are 4 women. All from different walks of life. They answer an ad in the newspaper for a support group. They all have one thing in common while their ages and backgrounds and family histories are all different. Annette Bening, Winona Ryder, Helen Mirren, and Natalie Portman all have husbands who are in the hospital. And no one knows what exactly the husband's ailments are. Think like House, like they already said like all the other things. They're proven wrong, and everything they try, they can't figure it out. So, desperate, they look for others like them for support. They answer a classified or a Facebook ad. They meet each other. They find a kinship that no one else can really offer them. They're all going through the same thing. The love of their lives are laid out. There's no semblance of a cure or even a diagnosis on the horizon. And as their husbands fight for their lives, they realize that while their relationship with the husband might be dying, the relationship between these four strong women grows. So no matter what happens to the husbands, they will always have this lifelong friendship. Think Patch Adams meets Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Okay, I mean, the music was a little more serious than I had anticipated.
That's okay. I work with it. So the ending is a little anticlimactic. They don't come up with what it is. It's left open-ended for the viewer. We'll never know what these poor men died from. But women pick each other up and move on. Such is life. In The Dwindling Husband.
I was about
rated NC-17.
See, here's the thing.
Dwindling husband.
I was about to say this can't be woke because at least one of them has to have a partner that's they're a lesbian,
and then they make out.
No, if it's the dwindling husband, then that kind of changes things a little.
Dwindling.
I'm actually
said dwindling.
I'm really sorry, but it's
I said dwindling.
It's the diddling husband.
Oh,
you misread it. You misread it. I'm so sorry.
Wait, can I go again? I got it.
Actually, I like it.
All right, give me rom-com. Go.
The diddling husband. Same plot. They just have sex with
got
their
it.
husbands while they're in comas.
Starring the voice of Ned Flanders.
Hey, so was that music from Brooklyn, the movie Brooklyn?
Yes.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah,
I
it's good
really
stuff.
like that movie.
I
like it. I like it a lot. I would go see it.
and Beth
All right.
loves it,
All
so
right.
I'm good. All right, give me my ladies and my title.
Bring me your women.
How much for the little girl?
How much for the good title? Give me the good title.
So Ben, do you remember? Matt's gonna say he hasn't seen the titles, but he has. He's seen all of these cards.
I have seen the titles once, but I don't remember what any of them. I couldn't name any of the titles for you right now.
He memorized them.
He is at a distinct advantage. Do you see any index cards below his desk? He says laying notes.
I think next time. I think
look
next
at his computer screen. You see anything?
Well, I just saw him glance up at his computer screen. So
He's got notes. That motherfucker's got notes.
What?
Concentrate in your pitch. You're just getting your head. See, he can't help. He can't help himself.
Next time, Nick, I make the index cards.
Freeze frame.
High five.
Don't you forget about me. It's been 60 seconds, right?
All right. I'll try to do this. Let me see my
You have to
my genre.
vocalize what your genre is before you play it.
You sure do.
I think it's definitely a comedy, but I don't know which of these comedy. Let me try this comedy. Wait, no.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I heard some marimbas.
Okay. New York City, 2018. It's a rough town for anybody trying to get by. 4 women who work in a law firm, played by Saoirse Ronan, Meryl Streep, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Helena Bonham Carter.
Nice.
You got 3 names and 2 double names on there for stuff. They're bored with their careers. They don't like the law practice they've come up with.
And then Austin Powers shows up.
They say, you know what? There's got to be a better way to make some coin in this life here. And Saoirse, being the youngest of all of them, says, you know what's really big right now is I go on Tinder and I just get free dinner dates out of guys. I don't ever want to see them again. They say this is a great business. So they go into business for themselves as female pimps, starting a process to match single women with men they know will go and take them out for a nice night with no expectations of sex. But of course, one of them is going to go out on one of these dates and they're going to meet someone that actually tickles their fancy.
Yeah, baby.
And they are going to wind up falling in love. And this movie is named after the business that they come up with in the movie. And it's called Tinder Tender.
Wow. Tinder Tender.
Tinder Tender. That was a randomly generated title that I think is the greatest title ever.
Wow. So you go to a website that just randomly...
I go to 3 different websites because some of them get repetitive and it's like the something of something, the something of something.
Lemonparty.com.
I choose genres
Google,
and it just, and it takes me there. So that was my, that's Tinder Tender.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
I guess so. I was just because I thought it was going to go dark for a second. I was just like,
Thanks.
people are going to go on Tinder dates with no expectation. I was just like, oh, they get 3 dates in and somebody gets raped.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sorry.
No, it's just the dead ex-boyfriend comes and hugs them down when they're fucking.
Yeah. Call back.
Nicholas forever.
All right.
Oh, my Tinder's so tender. So now you're going to do 4 actors.
4 actors.
One
Yes.
title.
4 actors. Oh, man.
Good first round, everyone. Good job.
Finally, you can do Ghostbusters right.
Well done.
right.
Well done.
Very good. Very good.
While Ben's doing, let's...
all right, fine. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
In all seriousness, was that a one-take wonder, or how many?
Second take.
2 takes.
First take,
I thought better of you.
First take, I went and listened to him again. I realized I was too deep because I thought he had a deeper voice.
You did match him
so I
pretty
read
well.
it and I tried to do a little higher pitch to get his.
You practiced in the shower, though, didn't you?
No, this is my first attempt.
It was really good. But the thing is, they're not going to pick it as a commercial because you kind of make fun of him in one line, don't you?
I mean, I just talk about I don't like that creepy corn.
That creepy corn.
That's just me.
Right.
I still love those hush
The only
puppies.
thing they wouldn't.
I'm ready to go.
Shut up, Ben. We're talking. Anyway,
I'm actually the corn out of the corn critters.
Here's the thing. I'm ready to go, but I feel bad
like
because
Republica.
the thing that came to my head and the only thing that's making sense on this is still going to be war related, but it's going to just be another war thing.
So what do you want? What kind of an
Edwin Starr?
I've got action thriller. I've got adventure,
or like mystery, kind of like suspense.
a thriller,
would be good.
maybe.
Yeah, suspense would be good.
Yeah. How about
something
a
along those
little
lines.
Chris Nolan-esque thriller?
There we go. Okay. So we're on the eve of World War I, and pieces are moving against one another. Now, a lot of people don't realize, but there were new communication ways of communicating with different countries that were coming out at that time. A pre-FBI and CIA operative, somebody who worked for the U.S. government, played by Ryan Gosling.
Love that Gosling.
Dreamy.
Is trying to contact the diplomat in Japan to try and understand what is going on in the world, and things are moving at a fast pace. The American diplomat living in Japan, played by John C. Reilly, intercepts that message and understands that now there's somebody who's trying to contact this country to, maybe move this country against another country, who then contacts another American diplomat living in the Middle East, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, however, has been bought off by arms dealers who are working with the Axis ends and with Germany, and he hires a hitman played by Chris Hemsworth to find these silent partners throughout the world who are trying to move these chess pieces around on behalf of their own governments. And as these people who are used to living in their houses and used to just doing their jobs now have to evade a master killer throughout the world, with the grand finale of them having to meet in a place to negotiate the terms at the beginning of World War I of what countries are on what side, in a film called The Whispering Planet.
Art house.
I like this. Whispers across the
Exactly.
planet. I like that.
Look at you.
There you go.
Connecting the dots.
Good cast.
The Whispering Planet. Yeah, really good cast.
Definitely
right?
spent some money on that cast.
Most expensive movie of all
too
time.
thinky for me. I'm going to pass, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
You and your itchy buzz finger.
That just screams of movie that, like, I'm not going to see that in the theater, and that's 2 days before the Oscars and be like, fuck, do I have to watch that?
It's going to win all the awards.
It's
Dang.
Finally gonna get John C. Reilly as Oscar. Finally.
You mean he didn't win for The River Wild?
Step Brothers, anyone?
Here you go. Nominated for Chicago.
He was nominated. He has been nominated, which I think is good.
Oh no.
So Nick went. He kind of held back on us last time. Not very political. Not very woke.
Oh, this cast is fire, y'all.
Oh, he likes it. He likes the four men that are in his lap right now.
Holy shit! I'm getting the vapors.
He's super.
This is.
They're literally
shit.
singing his lap.
I'll be honest. Just based on his reactions, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is the music that Nick wants for this. It's kind of a little 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, nice. Actually, that was not the Danny Elfman 50 Shades of Grey.
No, I don't know what this is, but it's sexy modern. I labeled it as. Yeah, so some of the other genres that I have music for, I have a Wes Anderson-esque comedy art house. I have an upbeat family comedy, a wild, goofy comedy, serious drama, a couple horror options, love story options.
Can I get like a Coen Brothers comedy, like maybe a quirky comedy?
So I did have one of these actually called Quirky originally. I think it is. No, let's try it. No, let's try. How about Two Mrs. Doubtfire?
Sure. Why not?
Let's do it.
Okay. Liam Neeson stars in this rip-roaring comedy classic.
Words never before spoken.
He has a very particular
set of comedic skills
of comedy chops.
Comedic powerhouse, Liam Neeson.
Well, he's not really the comedic lead. He's the like serious actor you throw in. Yeah,
he's the straight.
Who struggles with all the comedy.
Let's let him go.
Do you have any quirky comedy music?
I just imagine Liam Neeson getting the script. What is this? What is this shit?
I'm gonna start you over. Right. Start you over.
I've never been forced to smile.
So we have Liam Neeson, and let's.
Liam Neeson is a down on his luck. Liam Neeson, like you've never seen him before. So Liam Neeson, it comes from a family of proud janitors. His father was a public school janitor. His grandfather was a janitor at a hospital. It's been in the family for years and years and years. However, when he gets the job at Walmart as the janitor, he can't help but think that maybe he was made for something more. So, during the night shifts, at Walmart, Liam Neeson escapes to the back room to start thinking, what can I do to use my family's skills but feel more fulfilled? And he decides, I'm going to start my own janitorial service, a pay-for-play janitorial service whenever you need it. For whatever, we have a big party, bar mitzvah, wedding, they come in and clean up for half the price of the venue. Just kind of shave a little bit of it off, right?
All right.
Try to cut it off. But business doesn't go so well. Turns out no one thinks that grizzled Liam Neeson is really the person to clean up after their kid's 5th birthday party. He doesn't get a whole lot of business until he meets young upstart assistant manager at the Walmart, Matt Damon. And Matt Damon goes, you know what you really need? You need some hot chicks. You need some hot chicks, like those maids that come in the corset and the creepers watch them clean their house and bend them. That's where the money is. So he goes, I'll help you recruit. He goes, great. 2 days later, Matt Damon walks in, night shift, Walmart, with Gary Oldman and Tom Hanks.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Nick Santacroce. Fuck you and your fucking cast.
Limpish.
God damn it.
Now, Tom Hanks and Gary Oldman are childhood friends. They own a strip club down in Loxahatchee. They are going to bring all the talent. But here's the kicker. Their schedules only work in the evening. They're only available. I've not figured out why. That's why he has Liam Neeson's the night shift. They're all the night shift, right? That's the only thing you need to know.
I imagine the word night is going to be important in the title.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So, right before they're about to recruit from the strip club goes under. All the girls leave. They have no workforce. And Tom Hanks gets the idea, a la bosom buddies, that they can dress up like the sexy women and clean up during their night shifts in Made in the Night.
That was one of the old ones.
M-A-I-D.
It literally was.
I think it was.
Made in the Night was one of mine from the last one.
You maybe I reused another
That did end pretty well though. It was a good drop.
No, that was really good actually because it was better than mine, I think.
Wow, that was a
Sorry,
lot going on.
it took me a while to get there. I really didn't know where I was
That's
going.
the hardest I've ever laughed on the podcast. To be
I did
honest.
not know where I was going with that one.
I love it. Just
you got double crackheads on that one.
no.
Wow, it's a lot of crackheads.
That was
Holy shit! I'm sweating.
Just Liam Neeson and an uproarious comedy.
It was like sunshine cleaning meets Van Wilder.
I was actually thinking Sunshine Cleaning. I was just like, oh well, yeah. But then every time I thought about Liam Neeson, I was just like,
I just love that you have Liam Neeson and Gary Oldman in a movie, and it's it's a rip roaring comedy.
I know. Well, I got Made in the Night. Where am I going to go with that? With M-A-I-D.
no, that's the exact same title that I had.
Wow, Matt.
I'm
see.
sorry.
This is proof that he's rigging it so that he can get the best titles. He knows what he's doing. You know what he did. You know what you did.
Did you mix up your old stack with the new stack? Maybe?
No, the old stack didn't have enough
generator.
ink.
I used no. I have this. The old stack's there. I used a generator, but it may have.
Wait, give me the old
It
stack.
may have generated
Give me
the
the
exact
old
same
stack.
title.
Give me the old stack.
Give me that old stack.
These are the originals.
Oh my god.
Those are the Glengarry leads.
As he tosses it across the room blazingly.
Wrong about the Phantoms. Cat Without a Conscience. Serpents in the Secret.
Serpents in the Secret was
The Green Time. Delaying the King. I like that one too. Laughing at the Fog. Made in the Night.
You're right.
Made in the Night.
I'm so
Made in the
sorry,
Night.
guys.
No, it's okay. It's fine. You're not supposed to cross-reference him because we don't want you to look at him. So if anything,
I don't
this
really
is-
pay attention.
This
to
is
them very
probably a
much.
little bit more vindicating for
Yeah.
Matt than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is a cold husband. They're like husbands,
cold
and they're like
husband.
maids in this generator. That's good.
All right.
That's good show.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
good show.
Anyways, how you doing over there, Matt?
I was busy giving you proving my innocence.
No.
so
Okay.
it makes
Okay. Well, in that case, how's it going?
Well, I think that he can't get Liam Neeson, so it's going to be a rough road for him in this round. I think. Liam Neeson is the get out of jail free card in this game.
Apparently,
he's gold.
Okay, I think I have something terrible. Let's see if this works. Let's try this gem on.
Oh. All right.
This is a movie very much in the vein of the 80s. Kind of a sexy 80s drama. But with a little bit of a
Woody
2018 spin on it. Okay. Two couples go to a secluded island over summer break. Couple number one played by Jared Leto and Anthony Hopkins. Couple number two played
Woke.
by Bryan Cranston and Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I watched that sex tape.
One relationship, a May-December romance.
Must go faster.
Another relationship, a November, October romance. Goes good. They're on the island and they're out drinking one night, and one thing leads to another, and they say, "Hey, why don't we take this party to the honeymoon suite, and they have a wild night of passionate husband-swapping lovemaking.
Wow, he went for it.
They wake up the next day, and they're still in paradise for another week. What are the repercussions for having gone down this, not as forbidden as some roads, but definitely a forbidden road for them? And,
Wait, did you say the title already?
No, I have not.
All right, good.
Because it's not going to really work very well, but I'm going to try to make it work.
Bryan Cranston and his Forbidden Road.
But, so, after this night of passionate lovemaking, some truths start to come out about the couples, and some secrets are revealed. Jared Leto maybe isn't really into grandfather Anthony Hopkins, but he also has a previous love affair with Jeff Goldblum. And the title of this steamy film is called His and Her Summer.
Starring a soundtrack by 30 Seconds to Mars.
It stinks.
I don't know.
You can't give yourself.
I mean,
Beth,
I don't know. I
Beth,
can't make it stop
Beth.
doing that.
Surely, Beth, you don't love it. You like it. You like it. You like it. Love is a strong word.
No.
All right, buddy. All right.
He's on fire. No, I think that you were put into between a rock and a hard place with the title.
I had four
So
men
was Jared
starring,
Leto and Anthony Hopkins.
four men starring in a movie called His and Her Summer. It's really the only one I couldn't do. All right. All right, Ben, you've got two ladies,
Also,
two men.
by the way, Anthony Hopkins is way too good for Jared Leto.
Also,
I don't know,
I
man,
can
they
just
would have
imagine
some
how
really
that
intense
how that
sex.
menage a trois started. It was just, I slept with him.
And Jared Leto would be looking at himself in the mirror like Patrick Bateman.
I ate his cock with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
All right.
I'd fuck me.
And then
Bryan Cranston as Buffalo.
No, Bryan Cranston. No,
I am the one who knocks on your asshole. I am the danger.
I am the one who cocks. I am the one who's... Oh, wait. That's not
Anthony Hopkins says, "Let's move to the bedroom." He just goes, "You're goddamn right." Okay. Oh shit. So now
My name is Heineberg.
Okay, so just to clarify, so now I have two actors and two actresses
and a title.
Okay, so
And then, by the way, there will be a bonus round at the end. Just wait around.
Okay.
So, Nick,
Yeah.
Ben is pretty quick about his. I think he gets to the plot as he's going through it. You get that kind of feeling like he's finding his way there.
No,
I
see.
get structure really fast.
What did he say?
He
get
gets
structure
really fast, he says. Ben has a gift for structure. I have a gift for remember the store structure. I used to find some great.
I used to shop
great
at
sales.
I was going to make the same joke. and
Great
say,
sales
I
at Structure.
shopped at a store
I'm
called
good to go.
Structure.
It could listen.
Ben,
Express.
shut up. We're
listen,
having
we're
a
almost done.
conversation.
One more time.
Jesus Christ.
Just for the record,
What an asshole.
Express,
you guys.
Express for Men couldn't hold Structure's jock strap.
What about
Let's get
Banana
that straight.
Republic?
Well, that's different.
All right, Ben, what
The
is
old
your
Josh
genre?
Rosenfield special.
Action.
Let's try this one.
That's fine.
Action thriller. It's kind of Michael Bay-y.
Yeah. So, first off, before I go into this, I want you to think along the lines of Atomic Blonde. So we're thinking along the lines of this is relatively exploitative a little bit and kind of knowingly exploitative. So you guys don't.
I
think
hope
that
for
I'm
the
being
men
racist?
and not the women.
Well, if your structure is sound, we didn't infer the right things.
So you guys don't think I'm racist. Basically, was what.
Oh
I'm
my
doing.
God.
So, anyways,
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Here we go. Sam Rockwell is decommissioned as a CIA operative because one of his missions went terribly wrong, and somebody who had been hunting for a really long time got away. This basically what he considers this ghost of a woman who was an assassin who managed to kill one of the few witnesses of who had not only seen her face but had information about this giant global conspiracy. And so he goes back, and as he's decommissioned, one of his coworkers at the CIA, played by Judy Greer, says,
Judy Greer.
I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's somebody who may be able to help you. And if I give you the information, maybe you can take this off the grid. And so he gives her a number and slides it across, and he calls this woman up and says, hi, this is who I am. And she says, I'll meet you in 10 minutes, and we'll discuss if I can work for you or not. So he goes to a bar, and out into the bar walks Jennifer Hudson. And Jennifer Hudson says, this is my fee. I need to know who I'm supposed to hunt for. Who I'm supposed to hunt. Sorry.
Oh my God.
What did I say?
You were totally going to say fuck. I mean, it's clear. It's right there on tape. Who I'm going to kill.
No.
I'm here. Now who do I have to fuck to get this
I was literally about to say, I think who... I wasn't even along those lines, guys. I think I was about to say who I'm supposed to find, but I didn't who I was going to kill.
You built it up so hard. That was definitely like, so, who do I have to fuck?
It was a monster fuck.
Anyhow, he discusses the situation. She says, I'm in, but you have to bring my partner along. And he says, oh, okay, that's fine. And so in walks Simon Pegg. Ooh. And the two of them explain their what their terms are for the, and so Sam Rockwell gives them all the information. So Simon Pegg and Jennifer Hudson go on this global hunt looking for this assassin, trotting around the globe, leading to this huge conspiracy where it actually turns out that Judy Greer in the end was the actual ghost, quote unquote, who had assassinated everybody and was working as an inside mole. And Jennifer Hudson turns against her own former colleague who she worked with in a film called Black Angel.
Ooh, I like it. I mean, I liked it better when she walked in that room and said, who do I have to fuck?
Did you say, I don't want you to think I'm racist because of the Black Angel?
Because he called it Black
Yeah.
Angel and he cast, and there was a black actress in his...
Yeah, because she is the Black Angel, right?
I mean, if Judy Greer had been the Black Angel, that would
She
be...
was the... wait, isn't that the twist? That she was?
She was the bad guy, but
the Black Angel was the...
I was
who
thinking...
brought,
exactly.
Right. Got it.
I was thinking that's her code name is Black Angel or something along those lines. Okay, so 2 and 2.
Because her code name has to have her race in it, because that's the one thing that defines her. Got it.
No. Well, that's why I was thinking more of the exploitative side of doing that sort of thing.
Well, Bev loves it, so
anyway,
that.
There you go. Hey, while I'm thinking of mine, Matt,
Yes.
Can you pull up that that 9 Inch Nails song called Closer? I think the lyrics go, I want to find you like an animal. Help me think.
Just pull up our last podcast.
What's a guy got to find around here to get a drink?
I'm glad that you guys got a kick out of
I'm
that.
tired of these mother finder snakes on this mother finder plane. That was the greatest, like, Freudian slip I have.
I don't think it was a Freudian slip.
It was like literally the way you led into how you were going to use that word. It almost made more sense.
Which wallet is yours? It's the one that says "badass mother finder."
It's like, who do I have to find?
Well, I didn't.
Oh, that was.
I was obviously thinking through. But
I don't think I've ever laughed this hard on the podcast before.
The fuck was not in my head, and so I think I was thinking find, and I did actually go to the damn thing, but I'm sure it sounded terrible.
Perfect.
Well, I'm glad that it sounded.
God,
perfect.
I can't wait to slow that down for a slurred sophisticate.
That's actually that will be awesome.
Oh, I think I had to pull. I had too many clips. I did actually pull I pulled a clip of you and Nick doing your Nightmare Before Christmas sound check, and then slowed it down, and it sounds like you're in a cult. Because you're using all these like minor keys as you're doing your now and forever. It's real creepy. Not gonna lie. I gotta pull that one up next time. It was on here, but
all right. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
What is your genre, sir?
Can I get a
hell yeah?
Can I get a what? How about an action or just a drama, a heavy drama?
Try the serious drama.
Or a mobby. All right, I can work with that. Okay, so there is a team of bank robbers, and they're actually two sets of couples. Idris Elba and Scarlett Johansson.
Sexiest man alive.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know it.
Sexiest woman alive.
And they meet up.
That's a sexy couple.
And it's pretty good, right? Then they meet up.
Sorry, he got ahead of himself.
One day, they're robbing a bank, and another couple comes in to rob this same bank. Actually, you know what? Can we get a rom-com? Let's get a rom-com. This is too... we get a rom-com.
Sorry.
Okay, are you feeling this? All right. Yeah. So, this is good. In walks Julianne Moore and Robert De Niro, the aging bank robbers.
Rude.
Well, I mean, the whole point is to juxtapose the old school with the new school. Okay.
I'm liking this.
Yeah.
So I'm already sold by the premise.
So they decide that in this moment of just total chance, a little serendipity doo-dah, if you will, they decided, you know what, we should work together. Okay? So they plan meticulously. It's sort of like a heist movie, right? They plan this big heist from the biggest bank.
You want heist?
Yeah, let's get a heist.
No.
I don't know what this is. Yeah.
There it
All right.
is.
They decide, you know what? We're taking this operation to Vegas.
Oh, snap.
We're going to hit a casino like those ocean movies. All right? We're really actually going to do it, though, in real life. So, they get to Vegas one day. They've got it planned out. They've used their every resource they have, every connection they have. Sam Rockwell is also in a supporting role in this, but I didn't get the card. I'm just saying. He makes a quick cameo. Like in May.
You cannot use him. He's in Ben's movie.
Okay, fine.
He's got a conflict.
All right, fine. They're in Vegas. They've planned every detail. Down to the last possible thing that could happen. They go to break into the big vault. They trip an alarm. Only 2 people make it out.
Oh,
unfortunately,
like
Scarlett Johansson gets caught. De Niro gets caught. So now Idris is all alone with De Niro's girl, Julianne Moore, and they have to find a way now. They're not breaking into a vault. They're breaking into prison to break out their significant others.
Nice.
The only problem with that is Idris starts to feel things for Julianne Moore as they're planning to break out their significant others. You could say it was something that was inside of them the whole time, itching to break free, something forbidden, something carnal, something that would be bad if anyone ever found out. How are they going to break out? Scarlett Johansson and Robert De Niro, and tell them that they've fallen for new people. This summer, Caged Vice.
Ooh.
Best. Hey, man, most legitimate pitch of the night. I love it. I'm in.
So I will.
He's in.
I will watch that fucking
movie.
movie.
To address your fears that I plan ahead for things, I write down the titles as quickly as I can, and I go through as many of them as I can because you know how shitty my memory is. One of the only ones that I didn't remember it after the fact, but I remembered seeing it originally was going to be 100% about Mike Pence. And it was going to be.
Oh my God! Oh no!
That's the only one. I swear to God, the only one that was new. But your pitch was
I wish you would have
so
it.
Much better. So
All right.
much better.
Starring Scarlett Johansson as
Last
Mother.
one, and then we can.
And then we have a bonus. We have a bonus. Don't worry. Bonus is the group round.
We're-
We work
we're
together.
gonna do bonus?
Well, yeah, don't worry about it.
A little menage a trois of creativity.
Ooh, oh.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like his and her vacation all over again.
Nice.
Man. He's making some noises over here.
Oh man! Oh man!
Ooh.
He's
Oh,
emulating.
man.
He's emulating some sort of movie or whatever. Actually, serious question: have you ever listened to the other, not more popular podcast than ours? This movie changed me.
Fuck you.
Serious,
I mean, find you.
Serious answer. I don't listen to any other podcast but the New Way podcast.
Oh wow!
I just know a couple other.
Anyways, it's called This Movie Changed Me, and basically they take people who are popular writers or celebrities or whatever, and they talk about a single movie that changed them for whatever reason.
Okay.
Very short. Typically, it's like 30 minutes long.
All right. I mean,
Anyways, I listened to the episode about Say Anything today.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was a really
You
interesting
gave her
one.
your heart, and she gave you a pen. Ben.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
All right, I think I got this.
You know what? You know what? I have some people doing podcasts. We should pimp their podcast so that they pimp our podcast.
This is called
on
cross
their
promotion.
podcast.
That's what I'm starting to think about.
Oh, I could throw one out there, but you're good. You're good to go, huh?
I would throw
Okay,
a
man.
podcast out there.
All right. Kim and Ket stay alive? Maybe. Two friends watch a movie separately. They alternate episodes, horror movies, and then they comedically retell that movie to their friend during the podcast, who has no context whatsoever. Sort of like our blind readings. Only one person has seen it, and the other one hasn't.
This is an existing podcast.
This is an existing podcast. Some friends in L.A.
Interesting.
Yeah, I went to elementary school with one of the hosts. That's a long time ago.
All right,
What was it,
I'm
kindergarten?
gonna try this. I'm gonna
Maybe
try this.
kindergarten.
Yeah, we
Jeez.
should do this.
Let's see if we do this.
They better pimp our shit in their next
We have to
episode.
use some of
though.
the, we've got to reuse some of the music here.
All right.
So, an Australian journalist, investigative journalist played by Margot Robbie, is
Sharon Mongo
is trying to find the story behind the current hit movie Bohemian Rhapsody. The true story behind Queen's last great live performance. Maybe some consider the best live performance ever. So, she enlists the help of two gentlemen that are in a Queen tribute band that claim to know more about Queen than anyone else on the planet. Played by Jake Gyllenhaal in the Freddie Mercury role and Joaquin Phoenix in the Brian May role.
Interesting.
And they set forth to find out. They realize that the guitar that was used by Brian May in that performance, they feel as the
His old lady
is the key to that what was going on. Freddie was everything, but Brian May was not getting enough love for it, and so they set forth across the world to try to track down this infamous guitar that made one of that supplemented one of the greatest rock performances of all time. But there's a rich benefactor that is working against them every step of the way, played by Oprah Winfrey, who doesn't want them to find this mythic instrument. But when they all meet together and they're so close to the prize, they all realize they really are all there for the same reason, for the love of Queen and for the love of what they have now called the gold guitar.
Okay.
That's my movie.
The gold guitar.
The gold
I
guitar.
thought it was red. It was red with a black pick guard.
I know it wasn't gold, but my title didn't say the red
It was a
guitar.
Gibson. It was a Gibson.
He built
Les
it with his
Paul.
father. He built it with his father. He called it his own lady.
Right.
It stinks.
Brian May plays play Les Paul too.
No, you're right.
Sorry.
Brian May
Thanks.
play Les Paul a lot of the time. Just so you know.
All right. Okay, so
And
now
also, Queen was together for another 6 years after Live Aid.
yeah, but it was their biggest performance.
True. The
arguably.
iconic Yellow Jacket concert happened after Live Aid.
You know, I didn't ask you what
Fun
sort
fact.
of custodial training Gary Oldman and Tom Hanks had. So why don't you just let my
I don't come to where you work and slap the
Are we doing?
jimmy out of your
we
mouth.
have-
Are we doing one telephone bonus round? Because we're going long here. I'm sure.
No, we're okay.
we
Calm
are?
down. I watched the time
Oh,
on these.
classic
First of all, we've been
Ben.
running about 90 minutes in the last 17 podcasts.
Okay.
So we're
Cool.
and people seem to like it. So we're gonna keep going.
I
with
wasn't
it.
sure how long it's going. So
We're an hour and 23 minutes, my
Well, that's
friend.
not too bad.
No, we're good.
Sure,
So,
you could watch a movie. Or
so here is how the bonus round works. player one, which I think will make Ben. Well, do you want to bring it home, or do you want to? Do you want to?
Are you ready, player one?
God damn it! I was just about to say it.
Well, because you did it, Nick is going to get.
I was
bring it
about
home.
to say I'm ready. I'm ready.
No,
player one.
Nick's going to be ready. Player one. So Nick, you are going to pick a title card, just a title card, and you're going to tell us the genre, but not the title.
Made in the Night.
No. You.
Oh, I gotta pick one. Sorry. I just have a lot of experience with that one.
Thanks, Nick. There you go. Shawshank Redemption.
So, what are the rules here? So what's going to happen?
So he's going to give us a genre. I'm going to be given one actor and one actress, and I'm going to pitch the first act of just the genre of the movie.
There you go. You got it.
And
so
then
I don't tell you the name of the title.
you just give us the genre. So I'm going to do actor and actress. I started. Ben is going to do act 2 with an actor and an actress, and you get to bring it home with what we've given you and reveal the title.
All right.
You like this?
Let's do it.
All right. What's the genre?
It's a late night Cinemax made for
Oh, yeah, we're going to go right with
cable
this one.
movie.
Let's do the sexy retro.
Nice.
Oh, it's gonna be real good.
Oh, man. A real Sam Spade type. An old gumshoe, as they like to say. Played by Samuel L. Jackson. He's just trying to make his way in this crazy world. A lot of dames. A lot of cases. A lot of motherfucking snakes on his mother finder plane. And in walks to his detective agency a woman you've seen in your dreams 1,000 times. A short-haired brunette played by Catherine Keener. She says, Sam, because in this movie he's going to just be playing a character that he's named after. She says, Sam, my daughter's gone missing, and I need to find her, and I'll do anything to make it happen. Can you help me?
So,
this is a Cinemax movie, so sometimes I get naked to see them. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was understood. They were both naked in that scene.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good.
So we'll skip the naked part. So the next day, Sam wakes up and
I mean, feel. I don't need to lead you. Feel free to get, a little extra.
he asks her.
Did she
why,
tell him,
why?
Find me so hard?
He said, find my daughter, is what you said.
Yes. No, that's even worse.
Why do you want to find your daughter? Says, she's fallen in with the wrong crowd. But this club owner that I know that she went here, and maybe he'll know something. So he goes across town and he knocks on the door, and it's opened by Benicio del Toro.
Of course it is.
And Benicio del Toro says, who are you looking for? And he says, this girl's daughter. Do you know her? He says, yeah, I know her. But you don't want to go down that road.
Ooh.
You don't want to learn what's happened with her. And he says, is there anything else you can tell me? And he shows her a picture of Emma Watson. He says, this is her. But all I can do is point you in the right direction. And so he sends her to a place outside of town. Or sends him to a place outside of town. He says, there's a shack out there, and you don't want to know what happened, but you should look around. And so there, he finds a lockbox and he opens it up.
A lockbox?
And then, I'll pass it over to you now.
Oh boy. So who's there now?
So Sam Jackson's
Sam
trying to
Jackson's
find
there. Okay.
trying to find Emma Watson, and he's at a place in the desert outside opening a lockbox in some abandoned shack.
Yeah, outside in the desert, or as the locals called it, Death Valley.
There you go.
He looks around the lockbox and he finds a book. A book that says to Emma, I'll never forget our long, passionate nights. Use this book to remember me by. And he can't quite make out the signature. He looks through, and it's actually a guide to oral sex. Now this takes him back. He doesn't know what this could mean. He looks.
Ben got really excited by that, by the way. I really wish there was more video of that, but Ben literally just inched forward in his chair. I was like,
Let me finish.
I hope he finds her. I hope he finds her so good.
So, searching Death Valley for Emma Watson, armed with the new information he's skimmed through the book for, he finally finds her and realizes that the only way he can get her back home, the only way he can get her to come back home, is to remind her of the only man she's ever loved, the man who wrote that book. Oh God, please forgive me.
Oh no.
Starring in the feature film on Cinemax at 11:45 p.m. Licking Valley.
Licking Valley.
Licking Valley.
What was I supposed to do with that? Licking Valley. Licking Valley. Licking Valley.
Licking Valley.
I was like, how am I going to get to Licking and Valley?
So those of you at home that had the over-under on whether or not Nick Santacroce would pitch a movie with Emma Watson called Licking Valley, please check your tickets. You have won the jackpot.
So those 37 people claim your prize by writing us an email.
Wow. I don't think that could have turned out any better if it had been lit. First of all, the fact that it transitions to a CD club owner played by Benicio del Toro was my favorite. Like, of course that's what happens, and of course that's who plays him.
Oh God,
that is this may be one of my, oddly enough, like top 5 favorite episodes.
Favorite movie pitch of all time.
I don't think any of us would have guessed this would be our one of our better ones, but holy shit,
that was fun.
Wow. Well, we have I'm gonna say it right now. I think our musical pitch episode is gonna rival this one for.
Well, I guarantee this is the only episode my parents will listen to. I'm always like, yeah, it bums me out. My parents don't listen to my podcast, and then then they will. And it will be this one.
I guilt my mom into it constantly, and she doesn't ever do it. So now I'm just like, yeah, well, find you, Mom. But anyway.
Find you.
But thank you,
Mother Finder.
Thank you all so much for listening to the New Way podcast. We will be back. We're taking a little break for Thanksgiving. We'll be back.
We gotta take a cold shower.
With some really great episodes, including that musical episode, which I cannot. I mean, the Die Hard musical last time was fantastic. Ben's Interview with a Vampire musical still makes me laugh. I think we've got another win on our hands. Thank you. Do you want to? Do you think he deserves another shout out? Do you think he needs one?
No.
Another one? No
more.
No.
All right. Well, there's a certain gentleman in the state of Tennessee that's a big fan of Georgia, but we're not allowed contractually to shout him out double episodes in a row. So you know who you are.
It wouldn't be right.
It'd be fine. But also, we're also looking forward to, we've heard now some feedback from some of the beer trade group that might want to engage with us in a Skype session. And again, guys, seriously, you get a free can of really good Civil Society beer if you want to Skype into the show. So I would do it. I mean, Ben's done way worse for a can of Civil. I mean, my dick has never been so clean. So thank you so much for listening
guys.
to the New Way podcast. We'll talk to you next time.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.